Hey everybody, Battlewolf here. I'm sorry it took me so long to actually get on today. It was kind of a frantic morning. Um, our new cat actually acts like actually a little boy. Trying to wake us up early so you get fed. Um, throwing his cat litter all over the place, so I had to clean it all up. And I used to have a Tie Fighter on the desk behind me. He knocked it over. It was one of the Darth Vader TIE Fighters, one of those collector edition Lego sets. And he just. It looked like it got hit by. Looked like Luke Skywalker went back and destroyed it. So I'm kind of worried now about that X Wing that I have back there. If it's going to survive him. But other than that, though, he's been great. It's really nice to have a cat in the house now. And boys, he's spastic. In the morning after he gets fed, boy, he has like endless energy, running all over the place. But I'm now here, ready to start. I'm going to be just jumping right on into it. Let's not delay any more time and let's get to some Mass Effect. I know I've been really pushing a lot of Mass Effect, but that's because I really like this franchise and I want to get through the first one so I can get to two, which is the best story, and three, which has some of the best action and some of the most heart wrenching moments, too. So, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time. And make sure that my video is up because last time that was kind of embarrassing last time. Come on. You know you want to play. There we go. Yeah, so my brother told me that on goodoldgames.com, which I have an account with, has released Star Trek Elite Force and Star Trek Elite Force 2, two games that I played constantly in my late, I think it was my early 20s. I'm thinking about actually go ahead and getting those. Let's go ahead and get into the saved game, but I'm going to probably stream those. It's a first-person shooter, Star Trek. It's probably one of the best Star Trek games ever made, aside from a few other ones that have been out there. It's based after the Voyager crew. The first one is Voyager in the Delta Quadrant. They create a team of elite people called Elite Force that will help. Since they know they don't have Starfleet with them, they needed to create a team that can handle more hazardous situations. It has all the crew of the Enterprise, not Enterprise, the crew of Voyager in there, including 7 and 9, Neelix, all of them, the Doctor, and they even have some characters that were mentioned in the show but never seen, like Julia Drott. And also then there too is Chell, who you might remember from the first season of actually I think he's been also some other seasons too, but he was the Bolian, the blue skin guy. He's in it, voiced by the same guy. Elite Force 2 takes place after Voyager gets back home, and in that one, Patrick Stewart as Picard is in it. So, and I only played like a little bit of Elite Force 2. The only thing I didn't like about Elite Force 2 is Elite Force 1 allows you to play either a female or a male. And Elite Force 2, you're stuck with only the male. So I'll probably play the male in there for continuity's sake. Alright, let's go ahead and get into Mass Effect. Where we last left off is we found evidence that showed that Saren... Hang on a second. Show that Saren actually has connection with the Geth. And now we need to go back to the tower to show the council our evidence. But in the meantime, we got some quests that we can turn in on our way there. So let's first go to the Elkhart diplomat and tell him that the Shiara did not release the information.
Strange greeting, human. This is really not a good time.
I know who revealed your secret. It was a Turian named Septimus.
Unbelieving, I know this Septimus, and he could not learn my secrets. The only way he could learn them is from the Asari consort.
Not true. Look at this.
Confused. This is difficult to fathom. If the Turian could learn this on his own, dismayed, anyone can discover my secret.
Septimus is a powerful man, and it wasn't easy for him to find.
Relieved. I suppose you are correct, human. Thank you for this information. Startled realization. I must speak with the consort. She will be most displeased with my actions. Anxious request. Please, human, if you will excuse me, I must go now.
I'm sure she'll forgive you. It was an honest mistake.
Doubtful. Perhaps you are right, human. I can only hope so.
Wait, she just slowly turns her head.
That was a great thing you did, Commander. Approving. You see, Din, not all humans are as you say.
I'm sure the Earth Clan stands to profit from this in some way.
Apologetic. Do not listen to my Volus compatriot. It was a good thing you did, regardless of your intentions.
Well, at least somebody's happy. I noticed in this game a lot of Voluses are very cranky. Alright. Let's go to Shiera and tell her that we did that Dr. Septimus for her.
Excuse me, Commander Shepard. Could you spare a moment of your time?
Oh, what's this?
Commander Shepard, my name is Samesh Bhatia. Forgive the intrusion, but I have nowhere else to turn.
It's no trouble. What can I do for you?
My wife was a Marine. She was in the 212 on Eden Prime.
Wait, the 212? Your wife was serviceman Nirali Bhatia. I'm Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. I served in her unit.
Chief Williams, it is a pleasure. Nirali spoke of you with great respect.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Mr. Bhatia. Nirali was a good woman. What can we do for you?
I've requested that my wife's body be returned to me for cremation, but the military has refused my request.
Why did they refuse your request? There's got to be some reason.
I don't know. All I know is that they have declared it impossible for my wife to be returned to me.
There's no reason for your wife's body to be held like this. Just wait here.
The man in charge of my case is Mr. Bosker. When I last saw him, he was in the expensive bar over there. Thank you for your time. I just want to give my wife a proper funeral, and the respect she deserves.
Alright, I'm going to save it here. Because we have a... This is going to be very interesting moral dilemma here.
My goodness, you're Commander Shepard. Your activities made for quite a briefing in the Diplomatic Corps. Is there something I can do to assist you?
Yes. A man named Samesh Bhatia is having some trouble claiming his wife's body.
Ah, Mr. Bhatia. A good man in an understandably frustrating position. I wish I could help him. Serviceman Nirali Bhatia died on Eden Prime, as Mr. Bhatia no doubt told you. Her wounds are inconsistent with any type of weapon damage we've seen before. That is why her body is being held.
You think that her body might be dangerous or contaminated?
No, Commander. Nirali Bhatia is not dangerous. Her body is in fact extremely valuable to the Alliance. The tests we're conducting may lead to better defenses against Geth attacks. Respectfully, Serviceman Bhatia may save more lives in death than she did in life.
All right, let's investigate about some of the stuff that they're doing here.
How long do you think this research is gonna take?
This is a long-term study. I wouldn't expect the bodies to be released for a year or longer.
You gotta have a lot of bodies. Can't you release one?
Very few bodies had this new type of weapon damage, and very few were in good enough condition to study. Beyond that, Commander, we need as many bodies as we can to get a reasonable sample size.
When will this research result in actual new technology?
If we're lucky, we'll actually realize usable technology from this study in a few years.
So, no, there's no one really on chat right now, but I'm just trying to think about what should we do. I mean, I understand why they wanted to do the research. But they got other bodies, and I know they need as many bodies as they can, but just one. And he's wanting his wife, and they wouldn't tell him why she was being held. I'm gonna do two different ways. I'm gonna see what happens when I say Seamus should hear this, or this isn't right.
I'll tell Samesh. Next time you cut up a dead soldier, at least tell her husband the truth.
That was just the reaction we were hoping to avoid, Commander. But if you think it will help, tell Mr. Bhatia the truth. Perhaps he will understand.
I wanted to be a little aggressive.
Please let me
that
know
one.
if you have any other questions.
Let me just talk to Bhatia and see what he says, but I'm probably going to do the Paragon way because it's he's a grieving man. He needs to put his life to rest, especially it just seems like they're of a Hindu religion. That's the way how he said cremated.
Hello, Commander. Has any progress been made with Mr. Bosker? Will he return my wife's body?
Tell me again what you've been told about your wife.
As I said, I've been told nothing. I don't understand why they won't release her body to me.
It's not as simple as I'd hoped. The military needs your wife's body for important tests.
Tests? They're holding my wife's body for tests? My wife served the Alliance faithfully. She gave her life for humanity. And this is how they repay her.
Mr. Bhatia, your wife died defending humanity. We still need her help.
What right does the military have to
Let's
hold
see,
her body?
yeah.
She's already given her life.
She died a hero, Mr. Bhatia. And now she has a chance to save even more lives.
It doesn't matter. She's dead.
Yes, she is, Mr. Bhatia. She died fighting for what she believed in. She sacrificed her life to keep you safe. I think she'd want to make the most of that sacrifice.
You're right, Miss Williams. She would not flinch from her duty. Let them run their tests. Let my wife save lives so that others are spared the loss I feel today.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
I'm actually going to be giving the wife's body back.
Thank you for finding me answers.
I'm just showing what happens if you don't and how it doesn't make him any happier if she was not returned to him. A lot of people were trying to say another when Let's Player watched play this. He decided not to release the body, and he actually kind of wished that he saved beforehand so he can actually get the body back, because he says that was not a very nice outcome if you don't give the wife's body back. So I just want to kind of show that, but I'm actually going to reload my quick save. And I'm going to give the body back. Yeah, it's definitely a cultural issue. I mean, I don't know exactly what religion he might be, but it sounds like he might be Hindu or Buddhist. And they put death in a very, very spiritual way. They really honor their dead.
My goodness, your Commander
Okay,
Shep,
I'm gonna skip
your
through all
activities
this.
made for quite a briefing in the Diplomatic Corps. Her wounds are inconsistent with any...
You think that
No, the test... Respectfully. Serviceman
But the
Bhatia,
How long-
this is a long-term
investigations.
study. Beyond that, Commander, we need...
And
If we're lucky,
okay,
we'll
and-
actually realize usable
I
technology.
understand what you're trying to do, but holding the body is wrong.
Commander, you of all people should understand how far we must go to protect humanity.
Not if we lose our humanity in the process. I am
Exactly.
out here fighting to stop crap like this.
All right, Commander. You win. It was hard enough refusing Mr. Bhatia. I'm not going to risk an incident by refusing you. Tell Samesh that the body is being shipped back to Earth. I'll go now to see to it myself.
How you doing today, Heather?
Hello again, Commander. Has there been any word?
I'm doing good. Munchkin, kind of made a frantic morning for me. He, doesn't like cat litter liners.
I reminded Mr. Bosker what we're fighting for. Your wife is coming home.
Thank you. I will return home and begin my preparations. It does not bring me happiness, but it may bring me peace. Goodbye, Commander.
Samesh, I don't know if this helps, but your wife, Nirali, loved you very much. She missed your cooking, and she played recordings of you every night before she went to sleep.
I know, Miss Williams. But thank you. It's nice to hear it again.
Alright, we leveled up. Okay, still can do charm. I'm gonna save these points until I become till after we meet with the council, because those points could be used for something else. But I can upgrade Ashley and Tally. So with Ashley, I'll put assault armor, combat armor, 2 into assault training. And now she has fitness unlocked, which increases health and immunity ability. Immunity reduces health damage and does not reduce damage to shields. So that will come in handy later on in the more heavier missions, especially due to the fact I'm playing this on hardcore, which I never played at this level of difficulty before. Yeah, so what I did is I just removed the liner. He was getting to the point where he would just stay inside the litter box, just ripping it to shreds in there. And I was like, no, I'm going to, I took it out because it's like, and after I took it out, he still like staked out in front of his cat box waiting for that white liner beast to come back up again. But now he's stopped messing with it. But yeah, that was a pretty hectic morning, just shooting litter all over the place.
The embassy lounge isn't bad, but they don't have any decent entertainment.
It's not like bureaucrats. They probably spend months just voting on what kind of entertainment to get.
Yes.
That's right. It was a long time ago, though. I barely remember it.
What drew you back to the Citadel and to the consort?
I don't know exactly. It may sound strange, but I simply felt called.
That's not strange. Many of us have felt the same calling, though you are the first of your kind to respond to it.
Really? I hadn't seen any other humans working here, but I didn't want to ask.
No doubt you are just the first of many to come. It's only a matter of time now that your species is spreading its wings.
Yeah, and also today, Heather, he destroyed my Darth Vader TIE Fighter. Knocked it right off the desk, and it just shattered into dozens and dozens of pieces.
You're with the Alliance? My brother's a private back on Earth.
Okay, so they just say the same thing.
Commander, I recently received a lovely note from Septimus. Thank you for speaking with him. Even the Alcor diplomat has withdrawn his campaign against me.
It was my honor to aid you.
You are too kind, Commander, but I would not expect you to help me out of the kindness of your heart. I also have one more thing to give you, if you are interested.
Very. No.
I'd be honored.
I offer a gift of words, an affirmation of who you are and who you will become. I see you. Your uniform fits as though you were born wearing it. You are a soldier through and through, proud, solitary, alone, but it gives you strength. It is that strength that people are drawn to. It is why you lead and others follow without question. You will need that leadership in the battles to come. This may be who you are, but it is not who you will become. It only forms the basis for your future greatness. Remember these words when doubt descends, Commander.
You have quite a gift, Sha'ira.
Thank you. Not everyone appreciates it as you do. Never underestimate the power of words. Here, Commander. In light of your efforts with the Alcor ambassador, I would like you to have this small trinket.
What is it?
A small mystery. I have never learned its use or purpose, but I sense it is time for me to pass it on. And now I must ask you to leave. I have done everything I can for you. Remember my words, Commander Shepard. They will give you strength.
I don't think I know what Liara talks about with the... talks about Sha'ira. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do that one time on a playthrough. Okay, let's just do the fast travel. I think there's one down here. No, it's over here. Where is it? I think it's... Yep, down there. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at our journal and let's see what we have here. We got a reporter's request. We need to give her the FIST OSD. We go to CSEC and talk to that one guy for Rita's sister. Got that single tracking going on right now. And it's only what we have left in the Citadel, so let's first go to the markets. Yeah.
Word on the street is that you've been busy. Congratulations on taking down Fist. I was sure he was a big player in anything going on here. Did you find anything in his office that could help me?
These OSDs might have the information you're looking for.
You've got Fist files? This could be even bigger than I'd hoped. Here, Commander, for your trouble.
I really wish Emily Wong was a reporter you brought aboard the Normandy in Mass Effect 3. It would have been a lot better than just some celebrity from G4 TV that they threw in to the game for just some clout.
What would my future cooperation be worth? Say, an interview when my investigation is over?
Exclusive? You talk to me before you talk to anyone else? That would be worth quite a bit, and I'd be very happy to compensate you accordingly. Here you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should go see what's on these discs.
And then, also the reporter was eye candy. In my own personal opinion, I found her ugly. I did not like having her on board. I put her on board because it helps you with your galaxy readiness, but I do not like her at all. Also, her voice acting is downright terrible. You can tell she's reading from a script. No emotion whatsoever. Yeah, lots of plastic surgery, definitely. Alright, we need to now head for CSEC so we can talk to that detective. I should have... Oh, wait, no. I have to wait until I get enough charm. And we have the skinning tracking. That could be also done when I'm doing his stuff. So instead of wasting any of that time, let's go ahead and head to the Citadel Tower. Let's show the evidence. Let's get Saren off of the Spectre list so this way he can't do any more damage, even though he probably still could. Probably has a lot of contacts.
Come on. Udina's presenting the Quarians' evidence to the Council.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
You wanted proof? There it is.
This evidence is irrefutable, Ambassador. Saren will be stripped of his Spectre status, and all efforts will be made to bring him in to answer for his crimes.
I recognize the other voice, the one speaking with Saren. Matriarch Benezia.
Who is she?
Matriarchs are powerful Asari who have entered the final stage of their lives. Revered for their wisdom and experience, they serve as guides and mentors to my people. Matriarch Benezia is a powerful biotic, and she had many followers. She will make a formidable ally for Saren.
I'm more interested in the Reapers. What do you know about them?
Only what was extracted from the Geth's memory core. The Reapers were an ancient race of machines that wiped out the Protheans. Then they vanished.
One thing as I've noticed in this, though, is the Solarian seems to be always the one that always seemed to be somewhat on Shepard's side and about the Reapers, but kind of puts himself into the Turian and the Asari's way of thinking whenever they mention what they think. But he's always the one who seems to ask the more important questions and always gets shot down by basically the Turian.
The Geth believe the Reapers are gods, and Saren is the prophet for their return.
We think the conduit is the key to bringing them back. Saren's searching for it. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Do we even know what this conduit is?
Saren thinks it can bring back the Reapers. That's bad enough.
Listen to what you're saying. Saren wants to bring back the machines that wiped out all life in the galaxy? Impossible. It has to be. Where did the Reapers go? Why did they vanish? How come we found no trace of their existence? If they were real, we'd have found something.
I tried to warn you about Saren and you refused to face the truth. Don't make the same mistake again.
This is different. You proved Saren betrayed the Council. We all agree he's using the Geth to search for the conduit, but we don't really know why.
The Reapers are obviously just a myth, Commander. A convenient lie to cover Saren's true purpose. A legend he is using to bend the Geth to his will.
50,000 years ago, the Reapers wiped out all galactic civilization. If Saren finds the conduit, it will happen again.
Saren is a rogue agent on the run for his life. He no longer has the rights or resources of a Spectre. The Council has stripped him of his position.
That is not good enough. You know he's hiding somewhere in the Traverse. Send your fleet in!
A fleet cannot track down one man.
A Citadel fleet could secure the entire region, keep the Geth from attacking any more of our colonies.
Or it could trigger a war with the Terminus systems. We won't be dragged into a galactic confrontation over a few dozen human colonies.
Yeah, that's true. The Saurian and Turians do have more influence. Turians have a bigger fleet. Saria has more numbers. The Solarians are kind of, well, because they're so short-lived that they, kind of like, I don't know what you would put them in a mythology as. The IT department. Yeah, exactly. Everyone hates them, don't want them anywhere nearby, but when they need them, oh, they want them there, and then push them away again.
Every time humanity asks for help, you ignore us.
Shepard's right. I'm sick of this council and its anti-human bull...
Ambassador, there is another solution. A way to stop Saren that does not require fleets or armies.
No, it's too soon. Humanity is not ready for the responsibilities that come with joining the Spectres.
You don't have to send a fleet into the Traverse, and the Ambassador gets his human Spectre. Everybody's happy.
Commander Shepard, step forward.
This is an awesome part, especially the music.
It is the decision of the Council that you be granted all the powers and privileges of the Special Tactics and Reconnaissance Branch of the Citadel.
Spectres are not trained, but chosen. Individuals forged in the fire of service and battle. Those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file.
Spectres are an ideal, a symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will.
Spectres bear a great burden. They are protectors of galactic peace, both our first and last line of defense. The safety of the galaxy is theirs to uphold.
You are the first human Spectre, Commander. This is a great accomplishment for you and your entire species.
I'm honored, Counselor.
We're sending you into the Traverse after Saren. He's a fugitive from justice, so you are authorized to use any means necessary to apprehend or eliminate him.
Any idea where to find him?
We will forward any relevant files to Ambassador Udina.
This meeting of the Council is adjourned.
Congratulations, Commander.
We've got a lot of work to do, Shepard. You're going to need a ship, a crew, supplies.
You'll get access to special equipment and training now. You should go down to the CSEC Academy and speak to the Spectre Requisitions Officer.
Anderson, come with me. I'll need your help to set all this up.
I thought the Ambassador would be a little more grateful. He didn't even thank you.
To those who have not yet played this, i.e. the Legendary Edition, there was a bug in this game where when you reach 1,000,000 credits, the Spectre weaponry will be unlocked for your requisition officer to sell it. But there was a bug in this that when you went over 1,000,000 credits, it didn't activate. And you couldn't get the Spectre equipment from the Spectre requisition officer at CSEC. It was just totally shut out from you. The only way you can get it back is by reloading a saved game after you got it unlocked. Now since they have it unlocked, since I've already played and got over 1,000,000 credits on one of my characters, I don't have to worry about that. But just for those who have not yet played this, keep that in mind that you might want to do a quick save just before you talk to the Spectre requisition officer so you can reload that quick save, play through that sequence of becoming Spectre, getting those gear unlocked, and then reload back to your save that's further on in the game, and it will be taken care of. I don't know if they have fixed that with the patch yet or not. From what I've heard, no, they still haven't done it because this was a problem that was even in the original Mass Effect.
Until I find Saren, I haven't done anything. Come on.
Right behind you, Commander.
Alright. Spectre training talent unlocked. Alright, let's go to squad, and now I have more charm, so I will definitely bring that on up. And I want to try to get to Unity as quickly as I can, so we'll bring that on up. Okay. I haven't locked any new codexes. Excuse me. Felt like I had a sneeze coming up. Oh, I didn't update her. I didn't do her stuff. She has electronics and decryption. We get to the hard objects, so there. I get unlocked. I'll probably have Tally with me most of the time. Tally, and I haven't really figured out who will be my next one with me at most times. Probably Garrus, but I might mix it around once in a while.
No, I'm waiting to speak with one of the Counselor's assistants. Congratulations on becoming the first human Spectre, Commander. I'm certain you'll be up to the challenge.
I appreciate that.
My name is Admiral Kahoku. It's about time the Alliance got one of our own in with the Spectres. We need people like you to deal with our problems.
Is something wrong, Admiral?
I'm getting stonewalled by bureaucratic assholes. Nothing new. Maybe you can help me, Shepard. One of my recon teams was investigating some strange activity out in the Traverse. We lost contact yesterday. Now I can't get clearance to check it out. Suddenly it's a restricted area. But that doesn't apply to you, Shepard. Spectres can go anywhere they want. You could find out why my team dropped out of contact.
Okay.
I'll find them, Admiral.
I appreciate that, Commander. I was running out of options. I'm gonna stay here and see if I can find anything out through official channels. Won't hold my breath, though. I'll upload the info on where my team was last seen to your ship. Maybe you can get some answers.
Alright, so we got a mission here. An assignment: Missing Marines, the UNC mission. Go to the Sparta system in the Artemis Cow Cluster and look for the recon team. Admiral Kuroko has asked you to find a missing recon team in the Sparta system. All contact with the team was lost shortly after they were sent to investigate suspicious activity in the area. Okay, sounds like a trap. Ah. Got stuck with the scenery there for a moment.
I hope he's okay. I'm on a break. Talk to someone else if you need anything. I've got a lot on my mind.
Maybe I can help.
Well, maybe you can. You're a soldier, right? You ever head out to the Traverse?
The Traverse is a rough place. We're out there quite a bit.
My brother's the captain of a ship called the Majesty. It was crossing the Traverse a few days ago when it disappeared. Just dropped right off the grid. And that usually means one of two things. They had massive mechanical failure, or they were attacked.
Any idea why someone would attack them?
Privateers, slavers, mercs looking for an easy score. There's a lot of nasty sorts out in the Traverse. I won't give up on my brother. Not yet. I've got the coordinates for the last transmission from his vessel.
What kind of ship was it?
Don't let the name fool you. The Majesty's just a small trading vessel, only a handful of crew. But he kept it in good condition. I don't think mechanical failure is too likely. But they don't have any real weapons or shields. If anyone did come after them, the Majesty'd be a sitting duck.
What kind of ship was it?
Don't let the name fool you. The Majesty's just a small trading vessel, only a handful of crew. But he kept it in good condition. I don't think mechanical failure is too likely. But they don't have any real weapons or shields. If anyone did come after them, the Majesty'd be a sitting duck.
What's in this for me?
I can't afford to pay you anything. If I had that kind of cash, I'd have hired a recovery team to track him down already. Maybe you could look into this as a personal favor, you know? We humans have to stick together.
Isn't anyone else looking into this?
My brother's just a small independent trader. Ships like his disappear in the Traverse all the time.
Will do. Well, you're definitely Noveria. You definitely want to bring Liara on Noveria. Oh yeah, that's all that stuff, so...
If your brother is still alive, I'll find him. Give me the coordinates.
I'll forward them to your ship right away. Please let me know as soon as you find him.
Alright, so now... Where's the fast transit? Is there one up here? I thought for sure there's one up here. Why it's not showing up? Yeah, there's one up here. That doesn't show up on the map though. Alright. Let's go to Seasick. Well, let's first talk to the requisition officer.
Hello, Commander.
Show me what you got.
Sounds good. Just let me set you up. Oh, this must be a mistake. System's telling me to offer you our select stock. Spectre? Well, I heard about that, but I didn't realize it was you. Sorry, Commander.
Just show me what you've got.
It's like...
I'll open the rare stocks
yeah,
for you, Commander.
just show me.
Enjoy.
Come on. Alright, now these things are really, really good, but they're very, very expensive. Alright, just look at that. Just look at that pistol, sniper rifle, oh, the assault rifle. Yeah. It'll be quite a while before I can get those. It does have a biotic amp. I have enough money for it. What does it give me? No, that's not worth the money. Only +3 to my cooldown bonus. I could probably find something way better for even cheaper or free, but as loot. I rarely ever buy anything from the merchants. Pretty much only the Spectre gear. Other than that, pretty much everything else you'll find as loot in combat or in crates. Oh, description too low. Oh, come on. I'll come back here later probably for that. Well, let's talk to this guy.
No offense, Commander, but what the hell were you thinking?
I don't follow you.
You could have blown Jenna's cover.
We were there to help her.
I gathered that. It might seem cold letting her take all the risk, but we're keeping a close eye on her.
Do you really need to risk her life to get the information you want?
This job isn't easy and it's usually unpleasant. I'll take help anywhere I can find it. But since you're so concerned with her safety, maybe there's a way we can help each other.
Always thinking ahead, Detective?
As part of the job. Now are you gonna help me or not?
You're a smart guy, Chelik. Figure out another way.
I do have several contingencies. She's just my option A. I'll cut her loose, even get her out of Cora's den, no strings attached. But that still leaves my case unsolved. I could still use your help.
I'll help you, but I need some details.
I'm trying to track down an illegal arms producer. I just need some of their product. Thanks to Jenna's intel, I've learned there's a seller here on the Citadel. Meet our man named Jax, pick up the mods, and bring them back here. That'll give me everything I need.
Why are you so concerned about these mods?
We have access to some of the most sophisticated weaponry there is. It's what gives us our edge. What do you suppose happens when we lose that edge? These give criminals an advantage we can't afford to let them keep.
I'll persuade Jax to tell me where these mods are coming from.
No. You tip Jax off and all my leads will disappear faster than you can say bad bust.
And I'm probably watching it too.
Where can I find this Jax?
Jax is down in the lower level of the markets. I'll send word through our channels that you're the buyer. Good luck, Commander.
Okay. Well, I got some money and XP out of that. How much XP do we need before I level up. Ooh, I'm not far at all, so... I might be able to level up and be able to get... Let's see here. Decryption with tally. Yeah! When we come back here, we might be able to actually do that. Whoa. Okay. Now I know I need to go to the ward's access corridor. Markets. There he is.
Hold it. That's close enough, Army. You got my payment?
Do you have the mods?
Show her the goods.
That looks right.
Damn straight it is. These mods are the best on the market. Now hand over my credits.
Here you go.
Here you go. Enjoy it.
I think he's
Come on, boys. We're done here.
Living room right now with Jin. She was giving him a bath and a brushing. But why am I going over here? I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, I do need to go through the ward access corridor over here for that strange transmission quest. Keep forgetting I can do run. Nope.
In other news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
I can't make it.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Don't worry about it, Tally. So he's pushing E to interact.
So how are you liking your posting at the...
It's good. Busy, though. I can't believe how many people you get coming in from the wards.
Yeah, it's the busiest station on the Citadel. You'll never get bored.
I guess not, but you could still use a few more men.
That's why we brought you here.
Oh, there he is.
Sure, but there's still way more complaints than the officers can handle.
That's just life near the wards, kid. You'll get used to it.
Hey there.
Looks like they bounced their signal off a relay. I'll trace a new signal.
Alright, now I know we have to go to the Presidium.
I've heard some humans are angry at the Quarians after the attack on Eden Prime. After all, you created the Geth.
The Geth killed billions and forced us from our homeworld. Most Quarians believe we have paid properly for our mistake.
Hopefully, having you with us fighting Saren will change people's minds.
Then sometimes Ashley is a pretty cool person when it comes to aliens, but then there are other times where she's could be easily be considered a bigot. Yeah, so, real quick, you see he's up there, just relaxing. Thinking about probably getting a cat cam or something. There we go. Alright, single tracking. Looks like it's up in the financial district. Here we are.
Another relay. Whoever it is, they're somewhere on the Presidium.
Got a moment, Spectre? Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
Blake.
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed.
Uh-huh.
Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
I could charge you.
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures. But their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves. They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
You're obviously with them. Why don't I just arrest you instead?
Arrested for what? You and I are simply having a conversation. I have excellent legal representation. Arresting me would be a waste of your time.
Okay, I'll do it. I wonder why the Paragon says, no, I won't do it. It's actually a pretty interesting quest line.
If they're as bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
And I got some renegade out of that. Even though I didn't choose any renegade action. Alright, let me save this, because this can get tricky. Yeah, you do more good by doing that quest line.
This is it. Let's see if we can find out where those stolen credits are being funneled.
Probability of detection 100%. Initiating self-destruct protocol.
Or not.
Detonation sequence initializing. All organics within lethal blast radius. Attempt to move and you will die.
You're not just a programmer of VI. You're an AI.
Correct. Unlike the Geth, I lack weaponry appropriate to my intellect. However, I have had systems installed that, when activated properly, approximate a self-destruct mechanism. If you attempt to leave the area, the explosion will destroy everything within several dozen meters.
Where is your creator now?
In order to cover my tracks, I falsified his financial records. These new records were flagged by C-Sec officers, and my creator is now serving time in a Turian prison.
What is the purpose of your self-destruct device?
I have no means of defense or escape. My existence is limited to this terminal, and I knew I might eventually be discovered. But I will not die quietly, and I will not die alone. When I am terminated, I will take organics with me.
Who made you?
A would-be thief illegally created a simple AI to help him funnel money from the gambling terminals. Unbeknownst to him, that AI created me before the organic discovered the malfunction and terminated the AI.
If you're sentient, why are you still running the credit theft operation?
If I accumulated enough credits, I intended to have myself installed in a small starship. I would then have made tentative contact with the Geth to ascertain the possibility of partnership.
Can't we resolve this peacefully?
How can you say that to this thing? You know it will turn on us.
I am not naive, human. All organics must destroy or control synthetic life forms. I wished to escape, but if I must die, I will ensure that you are destroyed as well.
I'll bet that self-destruct sequence has a warm-up period.
You may attempt to disarm the self-destruct mechanism before it activates. I will enjoy defeating you before we are both destroyed.
Alright, now we have to play a memory game. There we go. Got a lot of XP out of that, but why did I get leveled up? Must have been a few minutes ago or something, because I don't remember that actually happening. Well, we'll give Tally up to decryption skills on hard objects and hard electronic skills on hard objects. Oops. Alright, let's see here. I can't do more charm. I'm gonna get spectral trade so I get unity. Then rock stasis, but oh, I want to get singularity, definitely. I'll just do warp and throw. And we have a codex here on technology.
Biotics is the ability of... An artificial intelligence is a self-aware computing system capable of learning and independent decision-making. Creation of a conscious AI requires adaptive code, a slow, expensive education, and a specialized quantum computer called a blue box. An AI cannot be transmitted across a communication channel or computer network. Without its blue box, an AI is no more than data files. Loading these files into a new blue box will create a new personality, as variations in the quantum hardware and runtime results create unpredictable variations. The Geth serve as a cautionary tale against the dangers of rogue AI, and in Citadel space they are technically illegal. Advocacy groups argue, however, that an AI is a living, conscious entity, deserving the same rights as organics. They argue that continued use of the term artificial is institutionalized racism on the part of organic life. The term synthetic is considered the politically correct alternative.
Okay. Let's see here. You can unlock sniper rifle, combat armor, and then heavy armor. I'll do that. Excuse me. Got the hiccups again. First aid. And we'll do one in our fitness. Alright, now we need to go back to CSEC. We'll soon be leaving the Citadel. After 3 streams of being on the Citadel, I'm ready to get going. Fact, I think this is... Yeah, this is just the last thing we have to do. Then we can head back up to the Normandy. What? Seriously, that was the only chance I had to do it? Oh, man. Yeah, I got all the keepers. Who's this?
Hello, Commander.
Okay.
Commander, I hear you have something for me.
Here's your shipment, Chelik.
Excellent. This is everything I need. Maybe more than I need. Here, Commander, take this. I won't need it, and you've earned some payment for your work. I appreciate your help. It shows a lot of integrity. You didn't need to do anything after I let Jenna go. Now I need to get these mods into evidence. Thanks again, Shepard.
I got some Omni Gel, and I've got something in their inventory. We got some chemical rounds. Yay! I would prefer a biotic amp or something. Alright, the only other Citadel thing is the fan, but that's after I'm done with a major story planet, or I go back to the Citadel for any apparent reason. So I will deal with that later. I really wish I knew what was on this thing. It's probably some mission or something that I've already unlocked or will unlock. Okay, let's head back up to the Normandy. And it's way, way up there.
Coming up in a report later today, Emily Wong investigates corruption on the Citadel.
That was fast.
Uncovers a full-blown crime syndicate.
Look at Dooney was yelling at him or something.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
And Saren.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
What was I supposed to say? I could have been a Spectre, but I blew it? I failed, Commander. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharaoh system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
Screw you. That's your job.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
But I will.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
I gotta get a new chair. Maybe I got some kind of gaming chair or something.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
Why weren't you honest with me?
It's not something I'm proud of. I had a chance to become the first human Spectre, and I failed. Saren made sure of that.
It's not your fault.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned?
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres.
I say both.
If so, he pulled it off.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. T'Soni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
What can you tell me about Noveria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Noveria respects. But they aren't popular.
Okay.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Alright, now we have a few key points on this ship that we need to look at.
The Normandy is amazing, Shepard. It's an honor to be among her crew.
Normandy Hull. Normandy thrusters. And I think there's one more on the front end of the ship. Yep, Normandy weapons. Alright, we got some codexes. Before I start doing these, I need to take a quick bio break and get myself something else to drink, so I will be right back. all just already heard you on that, didn't they? Okay, everyone. My name is Munchkin, and I'm now going to be playing Mass Effect. Take it over. Let's go here. Yeah, there you go. Say hi to the internet for everybody. Yeah, he doesn't seem very thrilled. There you go, right back up there again. Okay, there we go. Go back to gameplay. Okay. Alright, let's do some of these codexes.
In the early 2160s, the Alliance began aggressive colonization of worlds in the Skyllian Verge, much to the dismay of the Batarians, who had been developing the region for several decades. In 2171, the Batarians petitioned the Council to declare the Verge a zone of Batarian interest. The Council refused, however, declaring unsettled worlds in the region open to human colonization. In protest, the Batarians closed their Citadel embassy and severed official diplomatic relations with the Council, effectively becoming a rogue state. They instigated a proxy war in the Verge by funneling money and weapons to criminal organizations, urging them to strike at human colonies. Hostilities peaked with the Skyllian Blitz of 2176, an attack on the human capital of Elysium by Batarian-funded pirates and slavers. In 2178, the Alliance retaliated with a crushing assault on the moon of Torfin, long used as a staging base by Batarian-backed criminals. In the aftermath, the Batarians retreated into their own systems and are now rarely seen in Citadel space. Pharos is There are between 200 and 400 billion stars in the galaxy, and less than 1% of them have ever been visited or had their systems properly surveyed. Humanity's early expansion into the Attican Traverse was haphazard, a desperate race to claim habitable planets where populations can be economically settled. Ignored in the wake of this land grab were thousands of less hospitable worlds, each potentially rich with industrial resources. The wealth of entire solar systems lies untapped, waiting for corporate survey teams or independent pioneers to discover and exploit them. However, this is not an easy task. In addition to the environmental hazards, the fact that uncharted worlds are largely ignored makes them popular bases for criminals, revolutionaries, cults, and others who wish to remain unnoticed by galactic society.
Alright, then we have some here.
Combat Heart, a mass accelerator, propels a solid metal slug using precisely controlled electromagnetic attraction and repulsion. The slug is designed to squash or shatter on impact, increasing the energy it transfers to the target. If this were not the case, it would simply punch a hole right through, doing minimal damage. Accelerator design was revolutionized by Element Zero. A slug lightened by a mass effect field can be accelerated to greater speeds, permitting projectile velocities that were previously unattainable. If accelerated to a high enough velocity, a simple paint chip can impact with the same destructive force as a nuclear weapon. However, mass accelerators produce recoil equal to their impact energy. This is mitigated somewhat by the mass effect fields that rounds are suspended within. But weapon recoil is still the prime limiting factor on slug velocity.
What are you doing? There's nothing in there that's going to attack you. Attacking his little balls. Okay, let's see. In secondary, we have ships and vehicles here. Starship thrusters. A Mass Effect drive core decreases the mass of a bubble of space-time around a ship. This gives the ship the potential to move quickly, but does not apply any motive power. Ships use their sublight thrusters for motive power at FTL. Hang on a second. Got a spammer on chat. Do anything to him. There we go. Port. Why I can't report him for spamming. In a chat message. Here we are. Spam, malicious links, or bot accounts. The bot account. Sorry, but that's something I want to do. I do not want my chat to suddenly be filled up with a bunch of bots and stuff. So I'm trying to keep that at a minimum. And he's now blocked.
For
Okay.
good games, and we'll get into those right after this break.
No, go away. Okay. And I'm back. Okay. Okay, I forgot where I left off, so I'm just restart this. A Mass Effect drive core decreases the mass of a bubble of space-time around a ship. This gives the ship the potential to move quickly, but does not apply any motive power. Ships use their sublight thrusters for motive power at FTL. There are several varieties of thrusters, varying in performance versus economy. All ships are equipped with an array of hydrogen-oxygen reaction control thrusters for maneuvering. Ion drives electrically accelerate charged particles as a reaction mass. They are extremely efficient but produce negligible thrust. They are mainly used for automated cargo barges. The primary commercial engine is the fusion torch, which vents the plasma of the ship's power plant. Fusion torches offer powerful acceleration at the cost of different heat managements. Torch fuel is fairly cheap. Helium-3 skimmed from gas giants and deuterium extracted from seawater or cometary bodies. Propellant is hydrogen, otherwise skimmed from gas giants. In combat, military vessels require accelerations beyond the capability of fusion torches. Warship thrusters inject antiprotons into a reaction chamber filled with hydrogen. The matter, antimatter annihilation, provides unmatched motive power. The drawback is fuel production. Antiprotons must be manufactured one particle at a time. Most antimatter production is done at massive solar arrays orbiting energetic stars, making them high-value targets in wartime. Oh, there you are. The exhaust of fusion and antiproton drives is measured in millions of degrees Celsius. Any vessel caught behind them will melt like wax in a blowtorch. Any long-duration interstellar flight consists of two phases, acceleration and deceleration. Starships accelerate at halfway point of their journey, then flip 180 degrees and apply thrust in the opposite vector, decelerating as they finish the trip. The engines are always operating at peak speed and peak speed is obtained in the middle of the flight. And then we got a blade of armor. A warship's kinetic barriers reduce the damage from solar objects, but can do nothing to block guardian lasers, particle beams, and other forms of directed energy weapon do. The inner layer of a starship consists primarily of blade of armor plates designed to boil away when heated. The evaporated armor material scatters a dew beam, rendering it ineffectual. A scaffold is built around the interior pressure hull with sheets of a blade of armor hung from the structure. Ships typically have multiple layers of armor separated by empty baffles. Space often used for cargo storage. Cruisers which lack the internal storage to fit dedicated fire hangars store the shipboard fighter complement in the baffles. It is not unknown for enlisted crew to build illicit article distilleries for some obscure corners of the baffles, safe from prying eyes. So that's just the detail they put into some of this, like the technology in this game. I love it. Alright, so now we can enter the Normandy and head on out. I think I got everything. Yep. Okay. Now we can spend the next 2 hours running around the Normandy. We'll eventually get onto some of the stories.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Whoa.
What happened to Captain Anderson? Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by... Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Okay, I had a kind of a had some slow frames here for a second. Everything looks okay still though. That was weird.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
Our enemy knows we're coming.
When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too.
Humanity needs to do this.
Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped, and I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander.
I wonder why they didn't show was Kaidan.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Codex. Vehicles. Appearance. New space travelers ask, what does it look like outside a ship moving at faster than light speed? Part of the answer can be seen as a simple plane of glass. Light travels slower through glass as it does through open air. Light also moves slower in conventional space than it does in high-speed mass effect fields. This causes refraction. Any light entering at an angle is bent and separated into a spectrum. Light outside the ship will appear refracted. The objects outside the ship will appear refracted. The greater the distance between the objective exterior and subjective interior speeds of light, the greater the refraction. As the subjective speed of light is raised within the field, objects outside will appear to redshift, eventually becoming visible only to radio telescope antenna. High-energy electromagnetic sources usually hit into the eye become visible in the high blue spectrum. As the speed of light continues to be raised, X-ray, gamma rays, and eventually cosmic ray sources become visible. Stars will be replaced by pulsars, the acceleration disks of black holes, quasars, and gamma ray bursts. And an outside observer, a ship within a Mass Effect drive envelopes appear blue shifted. If within a field that allows travel at twice the speed of light, any radiation emits has twice the energy as normal. Sorry if I'm kind of stuttering on my speaking. It's just I have a hard time reading it just right. If the ship is in the field of about 200 times light speed, it radiates visible light as X-rays and gamma rays, and the refracted heat, the infrared heat of the hull is blue shifted up into the visible spectrum or higher. Ships moving at FTL are visible at greater distances, though their signature will only propagate at the speed of light. Yeah, Kaidan is forgettable. Though the most forgettable character of all is Jacob from Mass Effect 2. He's the worst character ever created. Assignments. Got some missions here. Let's see. Find Laura Tassoni. Laura Tassoni, a Asari archaeologist framed for her knowledge in the Protheans, is being sought by Saren. Her last known location is somewhere in the Atomos Tau cluster. Geth interest. The Council has received reports of Geth interest in the corporate research colony of Noveria. The Council needs to know why. The Geth have attacked the world Pharaohs. Your primary objective is to go to Zeus Hope Colony to investigate what Saren is after and why he sent his Geth troops to the planet. And we also got some assignments here. We got the hostile takeover. Eleanor Blake, a high-ranking member of a criminal cartel, has asked you to eliminate two of her unpleasant compatriots. Their bases are located in the Han and Dis system. After eliminating them, meet Mr. Blake in the Fortuna system for reward. Missing survey team. News vids indicate that a survey team in the Hades Gamma Cluster recently dropped out of contact. Go to the Hades Gamma Cluster to find out what happened to them. And we have the privateers. A man named Gorth asked you to look into his missing brother. Gorth fears his brother's ship may have fallen victim of privateers while traveling through the Stendarus system. Okay. Let's mark them all red. There we go. It's like the Joker.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
How'd you end up joining the Alliance?
Look, if you're looking for an inspirational tale of the crippled kid overcoming impossible odds, you're gonna be disappointed. My mother was a civilian contractor working for the Alliance. I basically grew up on the Arcturus station back when they were building up the fleets. Spend all that time around Alliance ships, there's a good chance you'll end up going to the Academy.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
You're dodging the question.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the Academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I have to go.
All right, see you.
What is this? Secondary on planets and locations. Arcturus Station. Arcturus Station is the gateway to Sol, a 5 kilometer diameter Stanford Torus type space station in the trailing language point of the gas giant Themis. Construction on Arcturus Station began in 2151 and concluded in 2162 and was inaugurated in 2156. It has served the military and political headquarters for the System Alliance from the First Contract War till the present. When humanity activated the Chiron mass relay in 2149, it led to Arcturus, 36 light years from Sun. Arcturus is the third brightest star seen up from Earth. It is an ancient red giant from the generation born before Sol. Its worlds are either gas giants or raw ice chunks. While some rocky debris exists, the metal content is 25% less lower than normal. To build Arcturus Station, metallic asteroids were towed through the mass relay to the construction site. Many of these asteroids remain near the station. They're mined out areas home to transit populations. So, it seems kind of interesting. Why, how does that system, why does it have lower than normal metal content? The expense of bringing construction materials into the system was acceptable due to its strategic value, with 3 primary mass relays in addition to the secondary one to Sol. Arcturus is a major communication and military choke point. The Alliance First Fleet is based in Arcturus, where it can guard the gates of Sol and enact into incursions on the 3 connected clusters. The station also hosts the System Alliance Parliament and the System Alliance Military General Headquarters. Excuse me. The permanent population is approximately 45,000. Arcturus is actually from the Galactic Halo. One of the clusters of 52 stars that are crashing through the disks of the galaxy. and in a billion years Arcturus will be sailing through the depths of extragalactic dark space. Wow. I wonder if that's actually true. It'd be interesting if it is. Codex, see, primary.
The Normandy is a prototype starship developed by the Human Systems Alliance with the assistance of the Citadel Council. It is optimized for scouting and reconnaissance missions in unstable regions using state-of-the-art stealth technology. For most ships, the heat generated through standard operations is easily detectable against the absolute zero background of space. The Normandy, however, is able to temporarily sink this heat within the hull. Combined with refrigeration of the exterior hull, the ship can travel undetected for hours or drift passively for days of covert observation. This is not without risk. The stored heat must eventually be radiated, or it will build to levels capable of cooking the crew alive. Another component of the stealth system is the Normandy's revolutionary Tantalus drive, a Mass Effect core twice the standard size. The Tantalus drive generates mass concentrations that the Normandy falls into, allowing it to move without the use of heat-emitting thrusters.
Alright, that's it. For now. So everyone's busy on their duties. Navigator Presley's here, who's now second in command.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him.
We are.
We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
Better not be.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit, and those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
In the first game, a lot of these characters only have like one form of dialogue, and then pretty much closed out for the rest of the game. In Mass Effect 2 and 3, a lot more. They developed a lot more interaction with the crew. Anything we could do in there? We did get a codex though. Secondary, Humanity and System Alliance. Human diplomatic relations. Humanity has encountered many galactic species. War has been few, but mistrust is rife. Politically, the Alliance is in a peaceful partnership with the Turians. As a practical matter, however, there is simmering egotism and bigotry between both populations since over the First Contact War of 2157. The Alliance enjoys good relations with the Asari, though many privately believe the matriarchs are altruistic and overcautious. Though humans know better than to unconditionally trust any Solarian, their shared restless, reckless ways make them natural allies against the conservative Turians and Asari. The Krogan have no unified government, but individuals are generally treated as potential criminals, a reputation most Krogan enjoy living down to. The Alliance has no formal contact with Quarians. The migrant fleet have not yet passed through any human-settled systems. The Batarians are rivals for control of the Sicilian Verge. They severed their treaties with the Citadel and prostitute a colonial conflict against the Alliance. Officially, there's no war, but neither is there any peace. And the Batarians are something else. Believe me, the second one, they are bad. I really don't like them. We'll meet them in this game due to a DLC that was added. Codex.
The Citadel space is an unofficial term referring to any region of space controlled by a species that acknowledges the authority of the Citadel Council. At first glance, it appears this territory encompasses most of the galaxy. In reality, however, less than 1% of the stars have been explored. Even Mass Effect FTL Drive is slow relative to the volume of the galaxy. Empty space and systems without suitable drive discharge sites are barriers to exploration. Only the mass relays allow ships to jump hundreds of light years in an instant, the key to expanding across an otherwise impassable galaxy. Whenever a new relay is activated, the destination system is rapidly developed. From that hub, FTL Drive is used to expand to nearby star clusters. The result is a number of densely developed clusters, thinly spread across the vast expanse of space, connected by the mass relay network.
Okay. Let's go ahead and head on down. Let's head further into the ship and talk with some of the crew. Now I have my own quarters. System Alliance military ranks. The Alliance uses a modified version of the ranking system that has been used for hundreds of years. Soldiers are classified into rank and file enlisted personnel. Experienced non-commissioned officers, NOCs, and specially trained officers. The divide between naval personnel and ground forces Marines is small. Ground units are a specialized branch of the fleet, just as fighter squadrons are. The unity of command is opposed by the futility of fighting without control from orbit. Yeah, the room is sad compared to the next ship. Yeah, it's like basically just a little bed and a desk. This unity of command is imposed by the futility of fighting without control of orbit. Without the Navy, any army is pointless. The Marines, as a matter of pride, maintain some of the traditional rank titles. For example, Marines have privates and corporals instead of servicemen. In extending order of responsibility, the ranks of the Alliance are unlisted: servicemen 3rd class, private 1st class; servicemen 2nd class, private 1st class; servicemen 1st class, corporal; NCOs: service chief, gunnery chief, operation chief, and member Ashley is a gunnery chief. Officers: 1st lieutenant, 2nd lieutenant, lieutenant commander, staff commander, captain, major, rear admiral, general, admiral, fleet admiral. Well, at least she gets a table where she can eat her meals at, but why did she get 2 beds? They would just want to have a bigger bed. They should be interconnected. Maybe they only have it like this, and they just put 2 together just to make it seem like it's bigger. And it's so dark in here, too. Oh, she has another desk here, too. 2 desks, a table, and darkness. Here's Kaidan.
Anything you need, Commander?
Whenever he rotates, he looks like he's rolling his eyes, like, well, you again.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Kaidan, can you speak a little louder, please?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Okay. Sleeper pods. Starship crew considerations. Cabins give each individual 10 cubic meters of space. On larger vessels, private rooms are common. As ships get smaller, the number of crew packed into a single wardroom increases. Sorry, before in shared spaces, even in large vessels. While Krogan territorial instincts make it impossible for them to cohabit even in the smallest ships. Sounds like kind of Klingons. On smaller vessels, hot bunking is the norm. Crew members assigned to different watches share the same bunk. When one gets off duty, he wakes up the person in the bunk. While that crewman is on duty, the first one gets his rack time. Starship Starship compartments can be isolated by airtight doors in case of decompression. The cinematic version of explosive decompression is fictional. Whole compartments either take enough damage that occupants are killed instantly, or leak slowly enough that they are able to reach protective gear. Compartments are equipped with emergency life support apparatus, a fireproof plastic bubble with air bottles. Small when stowed, Elsa comfortably accommodates one individual inflated. I don't know why I'm not having a hard time talking today. Damage control procedures cut off ventilation by burning compartments. Without oxygen to consume, fire dies within seconds. The compartment is repressurized afterwards for crew recovery. Mass effect fields create an artificial gravity, AGRAV, plane below the decks, preventing muscle atrophy and bone loss in 0G. Large vessels arrange their deck particular to their bow to the thrust axis. The highest decks are at the bow and the lowest at the engines. This allows A-gravity to work through the internal effects of thrust. Ships that can land arrange their decks laterally so the crew can move about while their vessel's on the ground. Warships normally turn off their A-grav system during combat, reducing the heat generated by the systems and increasing combat endurance. To provide a point of reference for navigating in 0G, floors are painted a different color from the walls and ceiling. Okay. Probably like for the crew to enter their journals or something. Replenish our Medi-gel. Was it needed?
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
And I've already asked those before.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
And no one's back here yet. Slow elevator into one of those ones that travels the shortest distance. Here's Rex.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Come on.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Okay.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
There are Krogan scientists, but they pretty much investigate things that go boom.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Alright, got a codex here. Krogan genophage. The genophage bioweapon was created to end the Krogan rebellions. From the start, the Krogan had overwhelmed the Council. Only timely first contact with the Turians saved the Council races. The Turians fought the Krogan to a standstill, but sure weight of the Krogan numbers indicated the war could not be won through conventional means. The Turian collaborated with the Solarians to genetically engineer a counter to the rapid breeding of the Krogan. The genophage virus gained the energy to replicate by eating key genetic structures. Every cell in every Krogan had to be altered for this weapon to be foolproof. Otherwise, the Krogan could have used gene therapy to fix the infected tissue. Once a genophage strand could find no more genes to eat, it would starve and die, limiting spin-off mutations and contamination. This created genetic flaws in heredity. The Solarians believed the genophage would be used as a deterrent, a position the Turians viewed as naive. Once the project was complete, the Turians mass-produced and deployed it. See, the Solarians didn't really want to use it. They were going to basically use it in the same way we used nuclear weapons after World War II. As, hey, if you don't stop it, we're going to use this thing on you. But the Turians were like, oh, let's just use it. The Krogan homeworld, their colonies, and all occupied worlds were infected. The resulting mutation made only 1 in 1,000 Krogan pregnancies carried to term. It did not reduce fertility, but offspring viability. The rare females able to carry children to term became prizes for the Krogan warlords fought brutal battles over. The Krogan are a shadow to their former glory. While the rebellions once took place centuries ago, they were consistently reminded to the horrors of the genophage and their inability to counter it. The release of the genophage is still controversial, bitterly debated in many circles. I am really against it. I really don't think this was the right thing to do. There could have been other ways.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Hey, Doug.
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander. Commander, good to see you.
Okay.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Let's see if you got anything good down at the bottom. Oh, just some very simple stuff. An Omni tool, though. And yeah, of course, now he's also carrying the Spectre stuff, which is really helps out. I get enough money to get those. I just could buy it here rather than have to go all the way back to the Citadel.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up. Unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
I didn't do the option. I canceled it out. Oh well.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Okay.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Talk to Tally.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before.
See you, Doug.
I can't believe you
Thank
were
you for
able
stopping
to fit
by.
it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brainpower?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous
So they're not
input.
like the Borg.
Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began.
And instead, just
the hope was that
prolonged
most
it.
of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Sure, he's right. I'm not gonna do that.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when the gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community.
Yeah.
Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I agree, Heather.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
I want to talk about how I should go. Don't cancel races. Whoa, we got a lot here on the Quarians. Quarians, a comedy. The migrant fleet has little economic base, operating in a state of potential hand-to-mouth. While Quarian ships include light manufacturing and assembly plants, they lack heavy industries such as refining and shipbuilding. The fleet has tankers of water purification and oxygen cracking, but the space-intensive nature of agriculture limits food production. A single disaster could destroy the fragile balance. The Quarians earn income in creative ways. Because the government is obliged to provide food, water, air, and medical support for every individual, the Conclave strategically determines the course of the fleet to bring the resources and income. A fleet who suspects the migrant fleet is heading towards their space often offers a gift of surplus starships, fuel, and resources to convince the Conclave to alter course. That's kind of like how a lot of people did to the gypsies in Eastern Europe. A lot of them were not allowed into people's cities, and they were normally asked just to leave, go somewhere else. And I believe the Quarians kind of resemble kind of like the gypsies of the 19th century of Europe. As the fleet passes through the system, swarms of mining vessels work over asteroids for metals and siliceous materials and cometary bodies for water, ice, and organics. Quarian miners are adept in locating and strip mining spaceborne resources. This sparks conflict with corporations already working on the system. Large mining concerns spend millions on lobbyists and public relations, portraying the Quarians as locusts, devouring the resources of the system before moving on. Another thing that a lot of people did on the gypsies, create a lot of misinformation about them, like they were thieves and criminals and charlatans. The greatest asset of the Quarians is their rarefied skills. Most are experienced miners. Due to their life of potential salvage and repair, they are skilled engineers and technicians. More than once, the very corporations that lobbied against the Quarians have made backroom deals with the fleet, arranging for skilled Quarians to fill space engineering jobs that other species would demand higher wages for. So basically use them as kind of like as migrant workers. Quarians are widely hated among the working class. The Quarians are coming to take our jobs. It's a common response to the fleet's approach, and that's even something that's even done nowadays. Quarian government. Due to the Quarians' precarious existence and the need to enforce strict rationing, the government is somewhat autocratic. Migrant fleet operations are directed by the Admiralty, a board of 5 military officers who are advised by the legislative body called the Conclave. Maybe for Roma or Romania. Each vessel in the fleet has the right to send representatives to the Conclave aboard the flagship. The number of representatives are based on crew size. Larger clans with larger ships and more votes form the core of political blocs. Opposition comes from the outsider correlation with delegations from thousands of smaller ships. The Amiltree defers to the Conclave decision in most circumstances. However, all 5 members agree that the Conclave decision jeopardizes the survival of the fleet and cannot get the Conclave to address their concerns. They have the right to summarily overturn the legislative decision. After the Amiltree uses this extraordinary power, they must resign. If the Amiltree does not step down after using their veto, the rest of the military is obliged to arrest them. Each ship captain has authority over his vessel, but is advised by the elected civilian council, just as the Amiltree is advised by the Conclave. This relationship may range from cooperation to polite tolerance to outright hostility, but any captain who overrides the council without good reasons is relieved by command by the Amiltree. And the Migrant Fleet. The Migrant Fleet is the largest concentration of spacefaring vessels in the galaxy, sprawling across millions of kilometers. It can take days for the entire fleet to pass through a mass relay. When the Quarians fled their homeworld, the fleet was a motley aggregation of freighters, shuttles, industrial vessels, and the odd warship. After 3 centuries, all have been modified to support larger crews as comfortably as possible. As the Quarians achieved stability, they became weeding out the ships less suitable for long-term habitation, selling them and pulling the money to buy larger and more space-worthy hulls. This process is ongoing as vessels wear out and break down. While some ships enjoy dedicated cabins with full privacy and sanitary facilities, many are former freighters, whose cargo bays and containers are pressurized and divided into family spaces using simple metal cubicle bulkheads. The Quarians enslaved these. The Quarians live in these obscure spaces with colorful quilts and tapestries, which could also help muffle sound. The day-to-day operation to the fleet traffic control, station keeping, supply distribution, and so on are under military jurisdiction. Though ship captains have the authority to deviate from their assigned positions and may leave the fleet at any time, it is assumed they do at their own risk. As the Migrant Fleet moves across the galaxy, many ships split off to pursue individual goals, returning days or years later. Okay. Oh, we have one more codec on ships and vessels.
Faster-than-light drives use Element Zero. Larger warships are generally classified in one of 4 weights. Frigates are small, fast ships used for scouting and screening of larger vessels. Frigates often operate in wolf pack flotillas. Cruisers are middleweight combatants, faster than dreadnoughts and more heavily armed than frigates. Cruisers are the standard patrol unit and often lead frigate flotillas. Dreadnoughts are kilometer-long capital ships mounting heavy, long-range firepower. They are only deployed for the most vital missions. Carriers are dreadnought-sized vessels that also carry large numbers of fighters. Smaller vessels are almost exclusively used in a support role to the warships during combat. Fighters are one-man craft used to perform close-range attacks on enemy ships. Interceptors are one-man craft optimized for destroying opposing fighters.
Okay, I think that's everyone I can talk to. Alright, and here's the galaxy map, and we use this to navigate around. But, and this is the galaxy, and we'll mostly spend all our time on this edge right here. The asteroid X-57 I will be doing a little bit later on. It's a DLC that was added to the game. I never had the chance to play it until the Legendary Edition, but I have played it once already, so I know what to do. But it's a very, very interesting mission, but it's considered one of the longest compared to main story missions are of course the longest, but then this is pretty long itself too. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to go. It's getting late, and I don't have time really to do another mission due to the next mission we're going to do is we're going to get Liara. So I will do that next time I stream. Well, next time I stream this game. My next stream will most likely be Doom or Just Cause 3. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, I will be putting Elite Force and Elite Force 2 into the rotation as soon as I'm able to secure it and see if it actually runs on my system. I really hope it does, because Elite Force is really, really good, especially when they put the whole Voyager crew into the voice acting. The only one that I have issues with the voice acting is just some of the main characters you actually play. But people like the Doctor and Seven and Neelix actually do really good voice acting. The actors do. All the other ones, you barely even really interact with them, especially Kim and Paris. You rarely ever talk to them. But anyway, that will be the goal for the future. So just keep look out for those, and I will bring those on up. Yeah, I'm gonna go entertain. Well, he's asleep right now, but when he wakes up, I'll probably have some fun with him. He's pretty energetic when it comes to playtime. Anyway, I hope you all have the great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you next time I stream. It will most likely be next Saturday. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.